Hello everybody, it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's time for a new DIY 5-minute card. Let's face it, sometimes 5 minutes is all we have to create a card, right? Well, today I've got two cards for you. I've got a feminine version and a masculine version. Today we're using the Forever Fern stamp set. This one is a stunning stamp set. I know you're going to love it. Today we're going to be using a new color called Magenta Madness, and I use that fern in just a really unique way, kind of an outside-the-box color, but I loved the way it came out. And then there's my masculine version, and I just used some darker colors. This is going to be a great way maybe to send just a sympathy card, a birthday card, something great for the men. One stamp set, two very different cards, yet they are awfully alike. So let's get started with our DIY 5-minute card. All right, we are ready to get started on our cards. So whether you need a card for your female friends, but boy, I know creating cards for our male friends is also a difficult thing to do. And I thought this card was perfect for the guys. So we're going to create both of these cards today, but what's great, they're going to be made in 5 minutes. We're going to use one stamp set today, and that is the Forever Fern stamp set. Guys, I cannot begin to tell you how gorgeous this stamp set is. I mean, can you see the detail in those stamped images? Now, we have 4 sentiments in this set, and they are great sentiments. In fact, this is the to a friend that makes me smile. That's what I used on my original cards. But like I said, today I'm in need of a sympathy card and a thank you card. So I'm going to make a masculine sympathy card. I'm going to use the Peaceful Moment stamp set. I've got a With Deepest Sympathy, and then I also have a thank you. So I'm going to bring in an all sentiment set to mix with my Forever Fern. And that's going to allow me to take this stamp set even further. All right, let's get started with our cards. We'll start with the feminine card. I'm going to use the new Magenta Madness cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2. You need sunglasses for this color. It's so beautiful. I love it. On top of that, we are going to layer a piece of basic black cardstock, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then on top of that is our Whisper White, and that piece is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, on the inside of the card, magenta is a bright enough color that you could just write your message, not a problem. But if you wanted to add a piece of Whisper White on the inside, just have a piece there, 4 inches by 5 1/4. We'll do a little stamping on that one as well. All right, we're going to start our stamping with the 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of cardstock. Going to bring in the Magenta Madness ink pad, and I'm going to take this first image. I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about greenery. I don't know what that image is. All I know is when I stamp it in the Magenta Madness, just you watch. Oh my God, it just pops right off. Absolutely love that image. Now I'm going to come in with my Memento Black ink pad. And as I said, I needed a thank you card. So I'm going to take my thank you and I'm going to stamp it just to the left of that focal image. That's really pretty right there. But you know what? Forever Fern has this great little speckle stamp in it. I got to tell you guys, I'm a sucker for a speckle. I don't know what it is about adding speckle to a card, but it really, you notice I didn't re-ink. I'm just allowing that kind of gray, it kind of radiates down into a more gray color. I love it. It's just a wonderful stamp. Now, actually, you know what, before I put that away, let's go ahead and stamp the inside of the card. So I'm going to take, this is the 4 by 5 1/4 inch cardstock, and we're going to repeat that magenta right here. And I have a sentiment to go inside that says, you shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. Let's add that here to the inside of the card. And because I love speckle, let's add just a little bit to the inside as well. All right, now that is ready to go. And guys, we're ready to put this card together. And to do that, all we need to do is layer. Our front focal image will go right here on the basic black. Now we can add that to the front of the card. We'll center that up on the front. Now we'll add our inside. Now it looks nice like that, but you know what? I love to add some bling. So let's add some of our rhinestone jewels. I love these because they're just adhesive backed, so they're super easy to add to a card. And just look at what that does to my clean and simple card. Love it, right? Look at that, 5 minutes to fabulous. Now, let's go ahead and create the masculine version of the card. And because I didn't think Magenta Madness was a good masculine color, we're gonna change it up to Mossy Meadow. 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to layer that with Night of Navy. Doesn't that look so great together? 4 by 5 1/4. And on top of that, our Whisper White, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And just as we did before, we have a piece here that we can add on the inside, 4 inches by 5 1/4. 2 ink pads today, Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy. Let's start with our Mossy Meadow for our focal image. And we're gonna go with this big leafy image. It's so pretty. And like I said, it's gonna be so great for a masculine card. Look at that. Woo, so nice. I wanna point something out just since I can. Do you see how dark that is? I want you to see it's going to dry much lighter. So we'll give that a little bit, you know, it'll dry here in just a couple minutes. You're gonna see it look a little bit more like this, but I did wanna point out why you're seeing a little bit different and darker color there. All right, now we're gonna bring in that Night of Navy. And remember I said I needed a sympathy card. Boy, sympathy cards are tough ones to make, and they're especially hard when we need to send them to the guys. So I have got the With Deepest Sympathy in Night of Navy, and let's stamp that just to the left of our little leaf image. And just as we did before, we're going to add a little speckle in the Night of Navy, just to kind of, again, tie that together. Now for the inside of the card, I'm going to bring in my grid paper because I'm actually going to be stamping this off the paper. I don't want a giant image there. I need room to write my message. So we're just going to give this just a little bit down there in the corner. And I think that's going to look really nice. Now I have plenty of room to write my condolence message in my card. And you know what? We'll add a little speckle as well. Now we'll put our card together just like we did on the first. And my piece there for the inside. Now, we do want to add a little bling to this card. Even though it's sympathy, this is going to be really subtle bling. We'll come in with the champagne rhinestones. So let's add 3 of these. And one about right there. Do you see that? Just, it kind of gives it a little bit something, but it's not shining too much. So I'll bring in my original masculine card, so To a Friend That Makes Me Smile. And then of course I've got my sympathy version. Let me go ahead and bring in my feminine versions as well, so you can see the card there for the girls. Guys, a 5-minute card. You're going to create it in just a few minutes and be able to get that card in the mail. And yes, you are going to make someone smile, make someone's day, and just a wonderful way to say thank you. You do not want to miss out on the Forever Fern stamp set. You can find that and order that over at simplysimplestamping.com, or just look down in the YouTube description for a link that'll take you directly to today's cards, where you can see photos and images of them and a complete supply list. Oh, and you can grab those measurements too. There you go, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed today's 5-minute DIY cards. I thought they just turned out so lovely, and these are going to be so nice and easy to just have on hand and ready to mail. Now, if you enjoyed 5-minute DIY cards, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube. I always appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, it's a great day to become a subscriber. Click the great big red subscribe button and get notifications whenever I'm back with a new video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Go create something wonderful, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.